Hey YouTube, today we're reviewing another power bank, this time from Jackery. It's called the Explorer 240. Stick around with me and we'll see if this thing's all it's cracked up. So Jackery reached out and asked me if I'd be interested to review the 240 on the channel. Portable, individual power, I think is the future, especially when you're talking about emergency preparedness, outdoor adventures. So you're talking about 240 watt hours in a lithium-ion package. The dimensions on this thing are 9 inches by 7.8 inches by 5.2. That may not mean much, but when I opened the package, this was clearly a great size power bank, especially for, again, 240 watt hours in this size of a package. I was really impressed. You're coming in at just over 6 pounds. This is not going to be small enough to actually take in your carry-on luggage for those of you that are thinking about traveling with it. But in terms of outdoor adventures, in terms of camping, especially if you are sleeping with a CPAP machine, you can check out my previous videos. We're going to be doing a few more. So this thing is ideal because it combines a really long-lasting battery, a lot of power, into a very small form factor. Jackery was kind enough to send along their optional 50-watt solar panel as well, coming in a nice, durable, rugged design, as well as a carry case included. What I really liked about both the 240 Explorer as well as the solar panel is the options they come with. So we have got our car charger, and then regular in the plug wall. Both of these looks like are coming with an 8mm plug. It looks like a carry case for each of my for all of the plug options, and then of course the battery bank itself. And this thing is really small. I mean, it's 6 pounds total. You get your DC 12 volt. You got AC 110, and it looks like it peaks up to 200 watts. I believe I read that you have a power surge of up to 400 watts, which is great. Standard USB, so you're looking at 5 volts, 2.4 amp with both of those, and then of course this is the input. Okay, so it's a beautiful day, and we're going to test this thing out. Now that we have a little bit of sunshine, so right now it's at 36% on the battery, just like it came out of the package. Let's grab our solar panel, and we're going to test this in a couple of different ways. Okay, so I do have to say I like the packaging. Not all solar panels come with a carry case or protective case. I do think that's a nice touch. And these should be very straightforward. I'm just going to connect black to black, red to red. That's my Anderson power pole, ready to go. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open this up. And immediately we should start seeing our LED. I don't know if you can see that right there. It's already gathering sun, so we have a green light. And I'm going to try plugging it in. Okay, so now the blue light, if you can see, is on and it's pulling power. What's nice about the Jackery is it's actually showing input versus output. We're pulling a full 29 watts as far as input. We'll compare that to what it's getting out of the wall, but this is on a very sunny day. I am directly pointed at the sun. So some of you may look at that and say, wait a minute, why am I not getting a full 50 watts in direct sunlight? Like I said, I have yet to see a solar panel, big or small, give me the full rating that it's rated to, even in sunny conditions. It's not a fault of Jackery. This is very, very normal. I would say this panel is par for the course for what you're going to find out there in terms of like quality panels. It's not cheaply made. I think it's well put together. And 29 watts does not surprise me in terms of what it's putting out. So I would say it's performing as needed. In most cases when I'm camping, I would set it up just like this. I would use this to shade both the battery as well as kind of angle my my solar panel right to the sun. And you can see as I angle down, this is what's interesting, is if I put it on a flat angle, that took me down to 16 watts. So angle does matter. As a rule of thumb, again, I'm usually seeing solar panels put out about half of what they're rated toward. So as a comparison, we're actually going to plug this into the wall and see what it does in the wall. So for this power level, again, we're at like 36%. Yeah, it's pulling 40 watts right now. So compare that to about 25 to 29 is what we were getting from the solar panel. That's about normal. You just need to make sure that as soon as you get up in the morning, let's say you're camping, plug this thing in, point it at the sun, and just throughout the day keep making sure that you're pointing that panel toward the sun to keep it charged, and you should be good. Now let's try this panel with a couple of other things. This right here, this is an 8mm plug, which is fairly standard, right? So I'm going to grab one of the competitor brands. So if I plug that in, perfect. Yep, it's actually, I don't know if you can see that there, it's actually showing me charging this battery up. The reason for me showing this is that, again, I think they've done a good job with this panel in making it very versatile in what it can do. Okay, so charging several different types of devices. I'm pretty happy with that. The last thing I wanted to test with this is the actual USB. So let's set that aside. If you remember, we actually have direct USB output on this panel. So I've got a USB Type A and a USB-C, which is really, really cool. The panel's still pulling wattage. I'm going to plug in my USB. There we go. That's ready to go. Now I just have a regular lightning cable. Okay, we're going to try plugging this into the phone. There it is, pulling. Now the problem with charging a device, especially like a phone, directly from a panel, is that it can get finicky, right? If you start having cloud cover, like right there I see a big cloud's about to start covering the sun, it's going to provide variability in the output here, and it's, you know, some smart devices will actually kind of shut off and not take charging after a little while. So it's always better, in my opinion, to do kind of a pass-through charge where I'm having this charge the battery and then pass through into the phone. So ideally, here's what we would do, is I'd plug in my battery bank. So this panel is charging the battery bank, and then there we go, that's pulling a charge. Then from there I'd go ahead and just turn on my USB, and there it is, charging. We're good to go. Now I have a whole pass-through setup, which is going to work really well for me. One thing I do have to say is this thing is extremely light. This battery bank is lithium-ion setup, which, you know, honestly, a lot of the batteries of this size that I've used in the past are more lead acid, which makes them really, really heavy. They're really good in the cold, but they're heavy. Okay, something like this, I'm liking the form factor, and I'm liking the output, because you have a full 240 watts in a very small and light package. It means that if I take this camping, if I take it out, you know, for a day of adventuring, you know, I like to go out and get drone footage and get a lot of landscape shots. This thing is going to power me all day long, no problem. This is going to take care of my CPAP. I like it. I so far am very impressed with the Jackery setup, and I would definitely recommend it. Price is right where it should be based on comparables. So especially if you find a deal, go ahead and snatch that up. So I hope you found this video useful. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to be notified of further videos, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.